Okay, I gotta get my voice together for this one, y'all. Let me drink a little something. Y'all ready? Here we go. Hey, I'm Cara D. Thank you for coming to have Girl Talk with me on my podcast, I'm My Feelings. I'll be discussing things that'll have you reflecting, but also have you intrigued. Have a seat and let's start this healing journey together. And also remember, the growth never stops. Hey guys, it's Cara. Welcome to another episode of I'm My Feelings. How are y'all doing today? How have y'all week been? Matter of fact, how are y'all feeling? Like right now in this moment. Like, do y'all ever ask yourself that? Like, how am I really feeling? Like, for an example, right now, I am pretty peaceful. Pretty peaceful. I don't have any tension. Like, nothing is really irritating me. I'm just kind of like going with the flow at this point. Nobody is getting on my nerves. I'm in a peaceful state. I feel like balanced. Like, if you know what I mean, do you know what I mean? So, like, yeah. So, ask yourself, like, how are you really feeling? Like, right now in this moment. And if you're feeling irritated, get down to the root of the problem. Well, why am I so irritated? See, that's confirmation for you to do that right now. So ask yourself, how am I feeling? What put me in this mood? Why am I feeling this way? Okay, now, is that situation something to hold on to? I feel like we need to ask like ourselves these things on a daily basis. Like, yeah, that kind of like gets us in tune with ourselves. And ultimately, isn't that what we're trying to do? Like, get in tune with ourselves so we could progress in life, do that level up. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, I don't know. That just got me thinking for a second. But anywho, y'all asked me how my week went. Cara, well, how did your week go? My week was a week. It was a week. So this past weekend, I took my daughter to Disney for her birthday, which is her birthday. Her birthday is actually Wednesday. When this episode is dropping, it's her birthday. So happy birthday to my baby. Y'all say happy birthday to my baby. Tell Brooklyn happy birthday. Even though she's not going to know, but let's all say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Brooklyn. Whoop, whoop. Anywho, but yeah, I took my daughter to Disney for her birthday. And it was a trip. It was a trip. Me personally, I don't feel like a time was had. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, she did have a good time, but I feel like the time was rushed. And hear me out. So, me and my mom, we had plans to get off work early, take a half a day, and then get off work early, and then hop on the road and be down to the house by 4:30. I don't understand. Sidebar. I don't understand why Airbnbs they only allow you to check in after 4:30, but you have to check out at 10 o'clock whenever your checkout date is. That is like so unfair because you don't get your full time there. The same time that you checked in should be the same time that you check out. But that was just a sidebar. Anywho, we had plans to take a half a day. First mistake. I'm not even gonna say it was a mistake. I should have seen it, from the get-go. My mom got off late. I got off late. Well, I was just a few minutes past 12. But she got off like a whole hour and some change later than 12 o'clock. So I had my car checked on before I left. Now, my original plan was to get a van so that everybody could go up there by themselves. I mean, go up there all together. That didn't work out that way. Some people left after work. A couple of people, a few people, not a couple, a few people. They went ahead and did a full day at work, and then they decided to leave that night. They probably left like around 7. It was me, my aunt, my mom, and my baby that made it up to the house first, which I should have just went ahead and let her get in the pool right then and there when she got there. Needless to say, we did not get in the pool like how I wanted her to. She was dying to get in it. She was dying to get in the pool, but she didn't get in. So we got up to the house like maybe 7 o'clock. 6:30, 7 o'clock. When we got there, we started unloading everything, then setting up. My mom started cooking. And we just listening to music, just relaxing. Helping my mom cook. Nothing too crazy. Playing pool. Then my aunts and my cousins, they end up getting on the road. They had like an 8-hour ride. They probably got on the road like maybe 6 o'clock. And then my grandma, my aunt, and my cousin that was in Fort Lauderdale, they had a 3-hour ride. They got on the road like, ooh. They got on the road 7 o'clock. Needless to say, all of them started rolling in. One car came in 12. The other car came in like 1 o'clock. We stayed up. We did not go to sleep until about 3 o'clock in the morning. When I tell you that house was so loud. But, everybody was just enjoying each other's company. So then it got to a point where I told them that I wanted to be to the park by 10 o'clock. Ask me what time we got to the park. Well, Cara, what time did y'all get to the park? We end up getting to the park 2:30. So we got up in the morning. We got up like around 8 o'clock. House was loud. So let me tell you about my cousin. So my cousin and my auntie they was roommates. They was in the room with the twin beds. We put them in the room together because they're night crawlers. They will walk out. They will walk in and out the house all night if you let them. Well, hell, we don't care. They grown, but they like to take smoke breaks. So my aunt, this the one that rode with me. She ended up getting a little tipsy. I ain't even gonna say a little tipsy because it was fast tipsy at this point. So she calling, mind you, okay, so her little sister's room is right across the hall from their room. She's so drunk to the point where she's calling my aunt, which is her little sister, and she's like, such and such, who is this be in my room? So my cousin was like, well, what the hell? So she was like, well, how did it get to this point? So then my cousin ended up leaving and going downstairs to sleep on the couch because she was like, I don't want auntie. I don't know what was going on. And I didn't want auntie to start whooping on my ass in the middle of the night. So I just went downstairs. So I get up in the morning to go in the room with my mama. And I see somebody in the bed with her. So I'm like, did my stepdaddy come down? And it's him. I was like, nah, this person too dark. So then I finally recognized it's my aunt. My aunt could not make it back upstairs. She ended up getting in the bed with my mama. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, she ended up getting in the bed with my mama. So I'm like, Mom, well, how did auntie get in the bed with you? So she was like, I don't know. She couldn't find her way back upstairs, so she just found her way in my bed. So I was like, okay. My mom, she got up. My aunt was already gone. Her and my cousin. That ain't my little cousin. Her and my cousin was already gone to Target. My aunt started making. When she got back, she started making the biscuits. By this time, everybody is up and moving around, talking, playing. Me and my other cousins, we're in the pool room where the bar is, and we shooting pool. Y'all, I finally learned how to play pool. I'm not the best. I'm not the best. But I finally learned how to play pool. I for all my years, 30 something years, I have never known how to play pool. So, we just we gathered around and everything. Honestly, if I wouldn't have bought the tickets, cuz I wasn't the only one that bought our tickets. My other cousin, she bought her tickets for her and her daughter, but everybody else didn't. If I wouldn't have bought them tickets when I bought them, I would have said to hell with Disney, let's just stay at the house. Because the vibes was good, the energy was good. But we ended up going to Disney. And when we got to Disney, it was hotter than a monkey's ass out there. Y'all listen. So we get there. So I have a wagon. The wagon, it has two sides where it's just like it's an overhead. It has shading for the kids. And we only have two kids. So we have the fan on the wagon and we pulling it. We get into the part. They tell us we cannot walk around with this wagon. So pretty much we have to now go and get the strollers that Disney provides. Okay, anywho, we get the double strollers. Y'all, every time, mind y'all, it's like 15 of us. Every single time we stopped for about 30 minutes plus. Oh my gosh, y'all. I got so irritated because now it's to the point where we got there. We made it to the park like 3 o'clock. We made it to the park by 3 o'clock. We only got on two rides by what time was this? Maybe about 5 o'clock. We only got on two rides because every time we start walking, somebody emerge off, and now all of us going. We're going to get some water. Now we got to get something to eat. Now we get something to drink. We just kept stopping. So then, one time we stopped, and Disney has like this little water area. It's like a little splash pad. It's really not a splash pad, but it's like a splash pad. My baby, I let her go because we was waiting on the other crew, the other members that was a part of our party. My cousin took the two oldest children, the kids, to the bigger rides because they're able to get on. And then the rest of us stayed with the two little kids, which is the birthday girl and then another child and then our big grown asses. So we got to the water pad. My baby, she wanted to get in the water, so I let her. I took her shoes and her socks off and her birthday shirt. But with me, I always have her on an undershirt. And I just let her get wet in her undershirt and then her jeans that she had on. I did have a dress. I thought I had some pants in the bag for her, but I didn't have no pants. But it's okay. I had a dress for her. So I let her get wet, and now we sitting there for about maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So as the time passed by, now it's a storm that's about to come. At least we thought it was a storm. So some people that is a part of our party, they went off and they went and got in a car. So I'm like, okay, well, when it starts raining, because I felt like the rest of the people that was in our party, they wanted to leave because they thought the rain was going to come. But I'm like, no, I done spent all of this money and my baby only got on two rides. I'm not leaving. Y'all can go if y'all want to go. So be it. So now we walk in, and I wanted to go to Tiana's Bayou. I really wanted to get on that ride. Some other people went and got in a car. Now it's to the point where now I'm getting frustrated. I was like, you know what? We could just go. But then I thought about it. I'm like, oh no, we ain't going nowhere. So I grabbed my baby arm. I'm like, come on, we finna go. So we left them. Mind you, we're in Tomorrow's Land. Tomorrow's Land, that's where the speedway, the driving course is. That's where Buzz Lightyear is, Monsters Inc., things of that sort, and like Dumbo. And I didn't even know like Ariel The Little Mermaid ride was over there because that's what we ended up getting on. Because I was trying to find it like later on the day when I caught my little hissy fit and stormed off. So I got my baby. Now it's just me and her. Now it's my youngest cousin. She's probably what, 8 months older than me, but still my youngest cousin. My youngest cousin, she was like, she called me. She was like, "You ain't hear me calling you." I said I was gonna come with you. I said honestly, I was so pissed off. I ain't had nothing. So she was like, "Where you at?" By this time I talked to her, I done calmed down. So her and my oldest cousin, they came and they met up with me, and then my mom and my aunt and my little cousin, they came and met up with me, and we just got on some other rides. Honestly, they was a trooper, I must admit. And shout out to my mama, she a real one. This lady was having back spasms the whole entire time. When I tell you she was popping them BC powders back like they was freaking Skittles. But she stuck it out. She really did for her granddaughter. She was like, "I want to see her get on the rides. I want to see her like really enjoy herself." So we end up we probably left. The fireworks show starts I think like 9:20, 9:30. That's around the time that we pretty much left. The fireworks show started, and then we started like heading back to the shuttle so we can go ahead and get to the car. But overall, the Disney trip was cool. It was just some minor hiccups. And yeah. Now, what else did I do for the week? Oh my gosh. It was trying to get my outfit together for my cousin's gala, her 40th birthday party. That is just like drama within itself. Cause that little whole spill, I got so emotional, and I'm not even gonna vulnerable moment. I'm not even gonna lie. It's like some things had happened when it came to like me getting my dress and things of that sort, and my feelings did get hurt. And I can honestly admit that the person that hurt my feelings, yeah. But I made a vow to myself, like I'm not gonna allow people to get up under my skin the way that they did, because it was like two people. I'm not going to allow these individuals to get up under my skin the way that they did to allow me to feel the way that I did. It got to a point where I'm not a crier. I'm really not. But I was crying. I was crying because like my feelings really was hurt. And I was telling my nephew like the whole situation. And he was like, "You know what, Cara, you're not a crier at all. And don't allow people to ever make you feel that way or whatever." That's like he's my emotional support person. And vice versa. Like I can call and dump on him, and he calls and dump on me a lot. So, but yeah, like, but I end up getting my dress for the party. That is a plus. Dress was amazing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, everything worked out as far as me getting my dress. I've been working on getting my baby these school clothes. I feel like I'm a damn good mom because I got everything under control when it came to that. One more time, shout out to my mama. She helped me out. We was able to get all of her clothes, her shoes, her accessories in a timely manner, like way before school even started. Because I didn't want to get it to a point where I'm last minute and now I'm running around trying to find this and that when I could just go ahead and like, start getting stuff bit by bit. So that's what I end up doing. Me and her dad had a few choice words when it came to these school clothes, but that's another story for another day. It is what it is. But guess what, y'all? I went on a date. I went on a date. So it was this guy that I met at work, and we stopped talking for like a year. I didn't even know this man still had my number. But one day he ended up calling me, and I don't save numbers at all. So I didn't know who it was. If I don't know the number, I'm really not going to answer it. But some just told me to answer it. So I end up answering it, and it was him. So it took about a month for us to finally just go on this date. So I went ahead and I went on this date. The conversation was good. He's a very, very nice guy. I mean, it's just a few things that I'm like, when it comes to him. I feel like, okay, so the whole time it was just like, where did we go on this date? We went on this date maybe, what is it, a Tuesday? It was a Tuesday. It was a Monday or a Tuesday. But that Friday, like corporate thugging was just in my head. By Jeezy, you know, corporate thugging, CTE, until the day I die, that's the way it's gonna be. The motivation I'm pumping on the whatever. But anywho, that song was in my head. So the guy that I went on a date with, he's a businessman. He has his own business. And when I seen him, and mind you, he has a mouth full of goals. Mouth full of goals. So we went on this date, and I'm the type of person, I sit back and I just, look. I just peep how people move and how they talk. When he talk, very articulate. He speaks well, extremely well. It, but the way that he dressed and the way that he walk, I'm like, yeah, no. So you know how an individual that was in the streets, like maybe when they was younger, they still have like that mannerism to them. That's what it was like. And I'm like, the younger Cara would have liked that, would have found that attractive. But now I don't find that attractive. I more so want like a clean cut guy. I'm not saying like he just has to be pristine. No, but I don't want a guy that's sagging their pants and when they walk, they're holding the front of their crotch and like no, and baggy clothes and mouthful. I don't want that. That's not what I want anymore. That does not that no. No. And then like he cut his facial hair. He doesn't have, mind you, he's in his 40s. He's 42 or 43. He's in his 40s. He don't have no facial hair. He just have like this thin mustache and like this goatee. And I asked him, I was like, have you ever thought about like growing your facial hair? So he was like, nah, the females that I have messed with, they too much ain't care about that. So he was like, well, you like facial hair? I was like, yes, I do. And I had to tell him, I was like, the facial hair, it makes you look more mature. Like what I was getting from that is like it's like he's trying to still look young instead of just like embracing his maturity. That's what I got from like him not having a face, like any type of facial hair. But I need men to understand facial hair is not a bad thing. I really like facial hair. That shows, that's just very attractive to me. I don't know why, but I like the older look. I don't like that, excuse my language, but to me, guys that have like a shaved face and they're not young, it reminds me of a. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. But guys, if y'all could grow facial hair, get it. Just keep it clean cut. I'm not telling you to have like this woofy face, but it's okay for you to look mature. It's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, other than that, I haven't went out on another date with him. I just didn't feel the need to. I know for a fact that's not what I want. So I'm not even gonna go ahead and play with this man like that. So did I tell him that? No, I didn't. I just kinda like fell back. Stop calling. Stop texting. If he called me, okay, I'm gonna pick up. If he texts me, okay, cool, I'm gonna text back. But as far as like me reaching out to him first and like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And I gotta chill on that because I do a lot of people like that. But I know that's not what I want. And it's just instead of me communicating that, I probably should, but I don't. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that, y'all. I'm a work in progress. I am. Everything is it just doesn't come wrapped in a bow and everything just healed on my end. No, because I'll be lying if I said that. But anywho, nevertheless, I digress. We're gonna go ahead and move into our topic for this week. So therapy is now in session. Okay, so have y'all ever sat back and just like thought about people's, like the people that comes into your life, even family members, like why you was birthed to your parents, like their purpose in your life. So the reason why I want to talk about this because while on the Disney trip, I have a cousin. Well, one of my cousins. We all have cousins, but if you have been enjoying this week's episode of I My Feelings thus far and you would like to give the show some support, please click the link in the show notes below or consider leaving a review through Apple Podcasts. Now let's go ahead and get back to the show. One of my cousins, her grandson, he's 2, and like you can tell he's on the spectrum and everything, and it's just like I just sat back and all I could see was my daughter. A lot of people, even family members, they'll sit back and they will judge if they don't understand. I'm gonna put it this way: if they don't understand, and this is something that is not normal to them, they'll sit back and they'll just have automatic negative judgment on it. So I sat back and I just watched like how the ones that is close to him, how they handle him, like how they would speak to him. And like I said, all I seen was my daughter. And I could, the only thing that I could really think about was how does his mom feel, which is my younger cousin. So for the ones who don't know, when your child is on the spectrum, it could be a plethora of things wrong with the child. It could be they have a speech delay. It could be they are autistic. They could have a pretty much an overall developmental delay. Okay, so with him, he just makes noises. Of course, he try to communicate, but he can't. He just makes noises when he wants something. He walks around and he cries all day. And his grandmother, she's a sweet lady. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if she have. I don't know. I'm gonna try to explain it the best way that I can at this point. So she would pick him up and she would show him some attention, but she made this comment, "Oh, I have to get my grandma time. Like I'm gonna get my grandma time." But I'm like, okay, I understand about you getting your grandma time, but are you? It's nothing like having your mom there, right? And I don't know if she know the severity of the child's condition and how it's weighing on the mother. When kids are on the spectrum, that could be a lot on a parent, especially if they are doing it by themselves. And it is they could handle situations a lot more gracefully and be a lot more patient and handle situations a lot better when they have, if they don't have a partner that's helped them to carry that load. I feel like that's when the mom comes in and help carry that load. At first, if you have been following me, then you know, I spoke about my mom a little bit and how she was with my daughter in the beginning. She didn't understand my baby. She didn't understand her at all, to the point where she didn't know why she was crying or anything. And I feel like you already know it. I feel like everything happens for a reason. It wasn't until my mom got into working with kids that is in the system and that has those type of issues, like being on the spectrum, until she sat back, having a new perspective when it comes to my situation. And I feel like the other people, like my other family members, coming to talk to her, because my mama, she'll help financially, but as far as like being hands on, she wasn't that. She wasn't that at all. She wasn't. And like she made a comment when pretty much grandma gotta have a life too. And I feel like that could kind of be a selfish comment, especially when you see your child is drowning. Yep, maybe she didn't see me drowning in my emotions. Maybe she didn't. I don't but the science was there. The science was there. Maybe she was just so consumed into what she had going on to the fact that she couldn't see that I was drowning. But people brought it to the forefront, talked to her like my uncle. And I can remember it was we had a trip in Orlando for Mother's Day. Like all the mothers, she planned it. And we end up like getting into arguments. And honestly, that whole trip was just like a whole healing thing for the family. But let me get back on track. So we had got into an argument, and come to find out my uncle and my aunt had came and talked to my mom. And it was like, because she doesn't live where I am. She lives out of town. So they pulled her to the side, and I didn't even know about it until that day. And she thought that I'm the one that put them up to come and talk to her, which I didn't. But anywho, let me finish. So they came and talked to her and asked, like, well, do you get Brooklyn like when you're here? And she was like, no. And she was like, because I be having things to do. And they were like, so you don't like watch Brooklyn or just like keep her overnight so like Carl could have a break? And they was like, no. She was like, I have a life. Like, I have things to do. And I don't know exactly what was said in that conversation, but she did feel some type of way about it. So when the argument came about and the whole went on the Mother's Day trip, she came, like, I came in there and I talked to her. And my cousin is actually the one, my oldest cousin, she actually the one that told me about it. Because I went out on the balcony, not the balcony, I went by the pool and my mom went in her room. And my cousin had just let me know, like, well, our uncle went to your mom and said such and such and such about pretty much her pertaining, like how she interacts with Brooklyn, and like she's really not helping like hands on like that, and like she's there financially but she's not really there. So then when I went in the room to talk to my mom, she pretty much she broke down crying, and she thought that I went to my uncle and my aunt about her not helping me, which I really didn't see it that way. I was just, yeah, I really didn't see it that way. I felt like, okay, well, she's helping me financially. That's fine that she don't watch her, right? But no, that was just my way of thinking at that time. But then I had to explain to her, and my stepdad was in there as well. I told her, I was like, I didn't even know anything about that conversation until today, until such and such and such told me about the conversation. I said, I didn't say anything to them. I said, now, if they came to you and said something to you about it, it's how they see you not interacting with your granddaughter. Like, you're not really keeping her. Yeah, you down here, but you're not down here. Like, and I'm sitting up here drowning. You see that I need help. And it's just like, you my mom. I really don't have nobody else like that. It's nothing like your mom's help. So, I can't even remember why I got to that topic. But anyhow. But yeah. So, I remember. Sorry, y'all. But, yeah, so Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. I'm trying to think where I was at in the story. Okay, so back to the my little cousin and him being on the spectrum. So I see how they are interacting with him and me. I'm just thinking like, okay, my little cousin, like the grandmother, I just see my mom, and it's just like I don't know if it's just a selfish way of thinking or if it's the fact that she's scared to like really kind of take on that, I'm not going to say baggage, but take on that responsibility of a child being on the spectrum. Because honestly, my mom was scared. She was, and she finally came out and was vulnerable with me about how she felt about the whole situation. But people have to realize, I feel like Brooklyn was brought into my life for a reason. She was brought into my life so I could speak up for myself, and because me speaking up for myself, I have to speak up for her. And that the first start was me speaking up for her. I had to be an advocate for her. I had to be her voice because she don't have a voice. All she do is scream. And a lot of people that don't understand that, they're going to automatically say, "Oh, hush. Oh, what's she making all that noise for?" And it's just like, really? And that's what they was doing to him. They are older. They are. But I feel like that child was brought into their family for they so they can look at things from a different perspective. Maybe they was handling, because for one, the grandma, none of her kids, she has 3 kids, none of her kids was that way. None. But the fact that her grandson is that way, it may have been a way that she was handling her kids, and God brought this child with all of these issues that's going on within him, so she can maybe be a lot more softer to kids or be a lot more compassionate to kids or things of that sort. Because for me, I feel like my child was brought into our family for a reason. I mean, my family, they could be, how can I put this? Because I'm the adult, you got to listen to me. Because I'm the adult, I'm always right. And things of that sort. And it's just like, now that since she have came into my life, and we have gotten to a point where, we see that she's on the spectrum, we see the issues and things of that sort. I'm the one that's speaking up. I'm the one that's speaking out. And I'm saying, okay, just because she young, you don't have to talk to her like that. Like she don't understand. Okay, well, just because she's a child, you don't think that she have feelings too? Like, I feel like it is really like helping me to really speak up for myself. For an example, my dad. My dad is the type of person where he feels like everything you say, if you go against what he say, it's just so disrespectful. Right? Right. Me, I'm the type of person, you're not gonna sit up here, you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way, and you're not gonna come to me any kind of way. Now, if you come to me in a certain way, okay, if you come to me in an unpleasant way, you cannot be mad at the unpleasant response that you get from me. That's where I am right now. So, um, we was at my cousin story time. We was at my cousin party, and it got to a point where I have another. It's a whole lot of cousins. I know. I have there. It's a girl cousin that's literally close to my age. We're literally probably about the same age. She's what a few days older than me. So she's walking around the party, and come to find out, she's walking around the party with a hat on. Now this is a formal event. This is a formal birthday party. We all have to dress up. So not my mom, my dad and my uncle, they put on hats. Like my dad, he gets fully dressed. Hat, cane, full suit, like all of the accessories. My uncle, he's the same way. The only difference is he doesn't have a cane. He has the hat though, but he doesn't have a cane. So she ended up taking her dad. Now my uncle is her dad. She ended up taking her dad's hat and walking around or whatever. So then she came to me and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna go get my daddy cane. Now my daddy don't mind me getting his cane at all. So me and her, she was like, okay, come on, come on, come on. So I don't know if she didn't hear me because she was like, oh, well, let's go get your daddy hat. I was like, I'm not getting his hat. I'm gonna get his cane. So we get over there and she snatches his hat off his head. And that just like threw him up in a frenzy, right? Okay. So he willingly gave me his cane. So I walked away just dancing, feeling good, not thinking of it, not thinking like any issues is going on. So then he come and he grabs his cane from me because I was sitting down and I was drinking my drink. He come and grab his cane. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then now I'm standing up, like a few minutes had passed. So now I'm standing up and he comes up and he's in my ear, like over, he's close to me in my ear because the music is so loud. And he was like, you told such and such to come and snatch my hat off my head. So I said, for one, don't come at me like that. And I said, and for two, answer me this: did I grab your hat or did I grab your cane? So he was like, you grabbed my cane. I said, okay. So if I was coming for your hat and I told her to snatch your hat off your head, why did I grab your cane? I said, I did not tell her to do that. So then he was like, oh, don't come at you like that. Don't come at you like that. I said, yeah, don't come at me like that. I'm grown. So he was like, all right, say less. Don't say nothing else. Okay, sir, get going, kick rocks. So now, like, people see, like, this is going on. So one of my guy cousins, he come up and he was like, what happened or whatever. So I told him and he was like, oh, your daddy's just drunk, don't pay him no mind. I said, oh, he'll be all right. And I kept on walking. So I went to the photo booth, and at the photo booth I'm taking pictures, right? So I see him sitting down looking like a old sad puppy. So I walk up to him. I was like, well, what's going on? Are you okay? So he was like, oh, don't say nothing to me. I said, why not say nothing to you? I said, well, come on, let's talk about it. Let's unpack this thing. So he was like, you sat up here, you told such and such to come take off my hat. I said, for one, I have told you before, I did not tell her to come and take your hat off your head. And I said, did I come take your hat or did I come take your cane? You came and took my cane. Okay. But she said that I said, damn what she said. I said, what am I telling you? I said, at this point, it's like he say, she say. I said, what am I telling you? Oh, but I never tell my mama that, don't come at me like that. I said, okay. And he was like, oh, and you just disrespect me. I said, for one, did I curse you out? And for two, did I come at you aggressively? I said, now, it's okay for me to speak up for myself and say how you came at me. Oh, but I'm your daddy. It doesn't matter if you are my dad. At the end of the day, I am grown. You don't pay not now one of my bills in my house. I could speak up for myself. I said, now it was your choice that you never spoke up to your mom and spoke up for yourself. I said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And as we're talking, guess who comes up and apologized to him? Who, Cara? The cousin that came and snatched his hat off his head. And she literally just confirmed everything that I said. And I looked at him. I said, now you owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. He was like, but I was just listening to what she said. I said, but what did I tell you? Since you want to I'm your daddy, I'm your daughter. If I'm sitting up here telling you one thing, how you not gonna believe what I'm telling you? I don't have a reason to lie to you. I don't have a reason to lie to you at all. If I'm telling you one thing, it seems like he was just trying to be mad at me for something that somebody else did. But I ain't had nothing to do with that. I came and grabbed his cane, and that's something that he willingly gave to me with no issue, no problem. At the end of the day, he ended up apologizing to me. He did. He ended up apologizing. But that's just, and I feel like goes back to people's purpose in your life. maybe I am the person that I'm the child because he has 7 or 8 kids. Maybe I'm the child that came into his life, that was brought into his life to make him look at things from a different perspective. Everybody has a purpose in your life. In your life, and everybody is here on this earth to teach you a lesson. And I feel like, because I have always been that child where you not finna sit up here, you not finna. Me and my dad has fallen out like damn near with a year without talking to each other because he feel like because he the daddy, he could come to you, he could speak to you any kind of way. And I go and tell my mama quit. And my mama go call him and cuss him out. Because don't talk to her like that. And he's the type of person, he don't give a damn. He will embarrass you in front of everybody. And me, what I'm doing. Like back then, oh, I'm running, I'm going to tell my mama. I'm telling my mama. But now, oh baby, I'm going toe to toe with you. But the only difference is he like to get loud and he like to curse. I'm not finna get loud with you. And I'm not finna curse at you. But I'm going to make you feel some type of way, and I'm going to make you hard down, reflect on every single thing that you said without having to curse at you at all. And that's what I did at the party. But dog, we having like a whole freaking therapy session in the middle of a party. But I made him see things in a different perspective. Just because I understand I will always be your little girl. I understand that I will always be your child. I will always be your baby. But at the end of the day, I don't disrespect you. Don't disrespect me. You have to still see me as the adult that I am. Baby, listen, I'm telling you, like, I be dropping gems on this man. Like, I feel like I just be dropping gems in life altogether. Like, I don't be playing with these folks. I don't. And I don't let these folks play with me. But yeah, that's just that's my take on people coming into your life and just having that impact. Everybody has an impact on you, whether it's negative or whether it's positive. The question is, how are you going to perceive it and how are you going to move forward when this impact comes into your life? Sometimes you just have to sit back and just like think to yourself, what is this person here for? And that's what I do now in life, like in every situation. So what is this person here for? If this person is not here for the long run, what is this person supposed to teach me? And that's just how I look at things now. I try not to be all up in my feelings, and I probably should just like sit back and just be in my emotions and just try to feel it. But a lot of times I find myself like blocking off my emotions from certain situations, which I probably should not do because you don't want to walk around like a robot. You don't. But hey, that's my spiel. Anywho, what did I do this week to improve the quality of my life? Yeah, I went to work every single day this week. I've been going to work. Like, if y'all know me, and don't laugh because I'm being serious right now. Y'all know I'm raggedy when it comes to work. I am. And honestly, I've been feeling like, well, back then, I used to feel like I have to have like 3 to 4 days off during the week. But now, since hell, my rent office went up on my rent, I gotta go to work. I have to go to work. But that's going to pretty much help me with my finances. I'm looking at it from the bright side. Me going to work every day, it's going to help me with my finances and get me to where I need to be. So that's what I did this week to really like improve the quality of my life. It is a struggle for me to go to work every single day. And when I tell y'all, when it gets to a point where it's that last day before my day off, I be struggling. I be struggling so bad. It is horrible. Hey, it is what it is though. So for the song of the week, I necessarily don't have a song of the week, but it's more so like a show. The show, what is it? It's on Netflix. It's the Vince Staples show. I've been watching it. I'm not gonna lie, it's good. My cousin put me on it, so I have been watching it. So that's the song slash show of the week. It's really not a song. It's the show of the week. Y'all check it out. It's more so of a comedy. It's about this rapper and his life, but yeah, if y'all just want a light-hearted show, don't want to have to think too much, just want a good laugh. Yeah, I feel like check it out. That's the show. But nevertheless, I digress. That concludes our therapy session for this week. Thank you guys for all the love and the support that you have been showing me, and don't you hesitate to keep it coming. On that note, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And I will absolutely, positively see you guys on next week's episode of I'm Merciless. Let me go ahead and take y'all out. Toodles!